my crafty friends. How are you doing today? Welcome to my channel, Turquoise Dreaming. This is Sheree, and today I am using up some scraps and kind of cleaning up a couple things, finishing, projects, things like that. So we're going to start off with this book, but I was going to show you like this book right here. This little tall, it's a little tall, narrow book cover. Looks like this. What am I? Christmas. That's Santa Claus. Oh, I guess that's a snowman. Or that might be Santa. And there's Santa. Anyway, I'll show you more of the book cover in a second. But that I want to do in July. For Christmas in July, I want to turn this cute. I just love the orientation of it. I think it's going to be an adorable journal. And then this one here is my plan so far. And if I have time to make some more Christmas journals in July, I will. But that's the two I'm going to start off with. And this one, and this one. And this one is a large Christmas Southern Living 1989. You can see it has these beautiful poinsettias. I've already done the cover as far as made it into a cover because I wanted to, I was experimenting with the notebook rings. So this one has, I've already got a couple pages in here to put in here too. And an envelope that I wanted to put in here. But yeah, it has this just pretty plain red paper. That was the original paper in here. And then I used this fun Christmas fabric and already attached the notebook mechanism. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that one off in July. And this one here, because I just think it's so cute and I can't wait till Christmas to make that into a journal. So I already took it apart. So I'm going to show you what this... One reason, because, I mean, I like the cover. I love the cover. But I also, here's the front and back cover. Here's the back cover. I might put some Christmassy paper or something back here. But it has on the inside these little pages that flip out. I showed you this in a Thrifty Thursday. So if you watch all of my Thrifty Thursday, you may have seen it. But see these little pages that flip out like this. So when I saw this, I thought this would be really cute for a little, you know, little cards to put into a journal. So this is the cover, and here's the inside. It has, I basically cut off the ones, I think there were some attached here, but when I cut off the cover, it took the card, so which is fine. So that I'll leave it like that. There's a little inscription here, which I will cover up with something, little decoration. And then this one, this is the back cover. Like I said, paper here, and then this one I was able to leave the, because they attach over here instead of on the spine, the little cards. So I'm going to leave these attached and make the new spine around and leave and leave those on there. I think they're cute. So it'll be like this. New spine here, and then I'll do the new spine, and these will be, whatever fabric is here, it'll be, the fabric will be going up over the back cover right here, and then those will flip down. So I think that'll be a fun little cover. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that before I got started, because I'm working with this today with the pages. So all I was going to do, and this is part of cleaning up my craft room, I just want to go ahead and cut these apart. I think they're all Christmas related. But like, here's a teddy bear that doesn't have to be Christmas related. So if they're not totally like really Christmas related, I might not. So I think first of all, what I'd like to do is, let's see, these are attached by, they're sewn together. Let's see if I can actually find the middle where I can cut the stitching. I don't know. Yeah, it's just these little stitches. Which would take some doing to get all the little stitches out. So I think it's going to be easier just to cut the page off of here. So by that I mean just taking my scissors. Let me get my sharpest scissors. These are kind of thick. They're nice sturdy cardstock really pages. So I think I'm just going to cut right beside the stitching. That's what I need anyway. And I probably might even need to cut off some of that paper there, but let's just separate this first and see how that goes. So I'm just cutting right beside the stitching here, so I can just separate the pages that way. instead of trying to, I would probably use, I have some little scissors that'll fit in there, or an X-Acto knife would fit in there, you know, either one. But then I would have to just, you know, clip every single little stitch, and there's like one less than a 1/4 inch every, like that, every, all the way down, sewn all the way down like that. So here, this is just extra garbage. Let's see how these look like this. So then that came off nice. I might make another cut here and just make that a nice straight line, but I wanted to see if I could cut, I want to see how they look kept together, or do I want to separate each one, you know what I mean, because I don't know if they're going to make sense separated. So, and I mean, so I'm separating them like this, so that they're like this, and see, here, if I take this off of here, this, I mean, it's okay, but it makes more sense if I leave it on here, because here it says Santa's boots, and there's Santa's boots, you know what I mean? So, and then I just need to even that up, that little part that we cut off the page there. Just even that up, and we have a nice little something to stick into a pocket. It could be made into a booklet, and, you know, but I probably won't do that. I'll probably just leave it like this and tuck it into a pocket. Or it could even be glued onto a page. But I probably wouldn't do that. I probably would put it in a pocket and let someone do what they want with it when they get a journal. So, let's see, this says, let me read this real quick. A North Pole place that's warm inside when winter returns from his Christmas ride. What am I? A nice warm place. So that could refer to, yeah, I guess that could refer to Santa's boots. I don't think it does though, but it could. It almost could. Okay, let's separate this one. I'm going to open it up so I don't cut the cards. You know what I mean? So I can see cut right in the middle of these. Well, I think I'm going to cut from this side. Yeah, then I can cut right here on this line between these two colors. That'll help me know where to cut and not cut in the wrong place. Okay, so this one came out nice. This one I need to cut right here. There's a little bit of blue on here. So I'm going to just keep on going. There, okay, that looks good. So this is upright. We've got a candy cane and twinkle, twinkle, I am bright, make a wish on me tonight. What am I, a star? But here we have a candy cane and we have candy canes. So I'm just going to go with it, I think, and not separate them. I think I like them as little, kind of like little booklets or something. Whatever they are, that is what they are. It's up to whoever is using them to determine who they are, what they are, right? So I wear a red suit and drive a sleigh. That's Santa. Here we have a reindeer. Cute. He's tied up. Poor guy. There's the reindeer legs. So, yep. I think they're cute, though. I mean, I could change my mind but see, I guess if I changed my mind, what I would do, if I wanted to make these into journaling cards, and I very well could change my mind, I could take the reindeer and the little reindeer, the word, and turn it this way, a reindeer. Put paper in here, or like something, you know, to cover the inside, so it would be writing space, and then back here would be the reindeer. Something like that. Or I could separate them and just have them separate and put, you know, back them on something, which I think was my original thought here. So I'm just kind of like, I kind of like that idea almost better, because if the other way it doesn't make, sometimes, you know, it doesn't make total sense the other way. And my brain likes things to make sense for some reason. It's like, if it doesn't make sense, I'm like, explain. This doesn't make sense. Make it make sense. Santa's boots, and then that could be Santa's boots. I kind of am liking that now. My original, I think that was when I saw it in the store, that's what I was thinking. Separate little cards. So I just kind of wanted to show you what I was doing with that. So, you know, it can give you ideas of what you can do with things. And or you can just craft with me today. So, and plus I want to show you what I'm doing with things that I bring home in my Thrifty Thursdays, so you don't think I'm just bringing home things and they're just sitting here doing nothing. And I want to follow up and do things with the things, all the things. So I need to even this up a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of rough right there on that edge. But we might work on some more of these in a second. I just want to show you the other things I'm getting done here, and you know, ways of how I'm using my scraps, and just kind of cleaning up my craft room as I just finished a couple of journals, and I've been trying to clean up my craft room, but I haven't totally cleaned it up in a little while because I'm going from journal to journal, but I have to clean up a certain amount. But I really want to get it all cleaned up, so I don't know. We'll see. The other thing I have had sitting here, like unfinished projects, is these strips, you know, and you saw my video where I used strips to make I was making some belly bands, and I really, really like those. Those turned out so nice. And so these were some more strips, and these were strips from my Franken pages, so they were really long. I have the other scraps from these strips because they were so long, where I sewed strips, you know, pieces together, you know, different shaped or different size papers together to make, you know, Franken papers. So these are my cutoffs from those strips. Still have a lot, little pieces, bigger pieces. We're going to use those, some of those in a second. And these are the kind of master boards I made from the long strips. So you can see I kind of intertwined. If it was a lighter kind of neutral color, I intertwined in some color, you know, made sure I had color in between those. Here's the other one. So I was able to get 2 out of those strips that I have had sitting here for a good while. And I really like, this is pretty much 8.5 by 11, I would say. And I really like this size because it can go in so many journals. And if I, like, let me measure real quick, because some of these papers aren't quite 8 inches or 8.5. Yeah, this is a good 8. This is 8 inches on the right on the money there, right on the nose. So, and then this is kind of upright like this. So, and then, you know, it's what, 11, 8.5 by 11? Yep, it's 11. So this particular piece is 8 by 11. So, if I cut it right, I can just get an even amount of belly bands here and not be stuck with a little 1-inch one. So there's one. And I'm going to sew around the last couple. The first one I did, I sewed all around all the pieces, and I like that. And the next one I did, I just sewed around the outside. And it's not that it needs to be sewn around every piece. This is glued down with art glitter glue. So these are not going anywhere. I don't have to sew on it at all. I just like the look of sewing. So at least I'm going to sew around the outside. I like that a lot. It really adds a lot to it. So let's see. Let me see if I can cut this into like 3 more pieces here. And then I'll have you know, well, not wasted any, like, made like a new scrap or something. And this is what I'm trying to avoid, is making another scrap here. So then I can just cut this one in half. So basically 4 nice size belly bands, I would say. So there we go. See, here's a piece of my Franken paper where I sewed it together. I just went with it. And so you have a little stitching right there in the middle. So this is what I have. I'll try to sew them before this video is over. I'll go sew them so you can see what they look like. But there's one cut up. And then this one has a little strip here. And I probably have a little strip in my strips that I'm putting together, but I'm not going to bother going in the other room and fishing for another little strip. I'm just going to cut that off. That little white strip that didn't get anything glued onto it. So I did this the same way with art glitter glue. This one is a little different. So let me see. This one is 11 inches. I thought it was, but I just want to make sure. But it's not 8 inches. This one's only 7, just barely over 7. 7 and like 2/8 or something like that. So, or 1/8, 1 or 2/8. So, but it's the same, you know, this way. So I can get 4, I should be able to get 4 belly bands out of this one too. And these can be something besides belly bands. They can be, you know, kind of large tags, or they can be tuck spots if you want it. Well, I gotta even that up. But you know, they can be other things besides belly bands. I'm just kind of putting them to the side just so I can have belly bands ready, because I've never really had belly bands ready. I've kind of always just done them on the spot. I have everything else ready. I've done tags and journal cards and pockets and envelopes, but I've never really gotten belly bands done ahead of time. And these are really nice. You know, the couple that I've done, I really liked just being able to grab one of those and sew it in, sew or glue it in, or whatever I want to do. That does not look straight. Let me even that up. Let me even that up. It's pretty thick by the time you get, you know, you have this is cardstock that I glued it on. And then these are mostly papery. This is thick and this is thick, these neutral ones. So it makes it pretty thick at a certain point there when you're cutting through it. That's a little bit of paper sticking over the edge there. That must have been, was that the end piece? Maybe. So let me just cut that off. The extra paper sticking out there. Okay, so we got 2, and now we're going to have 2 more. Even though it's just strips, it's still nice to see how it looks when it's cut up. Okay, I think I cut that one better. I don't know why I made that other one crooked, but if there's a way to make it crooked, I will. Believe me. It's surprising how hard it is to cut a straight line sometimes. Okay, so we got 8 now that I have to sew around. I'm doing a little drawing cards. I'm going to back those with cardstock probably. And yeah, I really like to back things with cardstock because it just makes them nice and sturdy, and they're good to go, you know. And they glue down easier on cardstock than if you try to glue them on paper. So these are the strips that are left from those strip master boards I just made. Now there's some pieces that are too little, but I thought I would make some more. And this is a way, if you have some paper punches, this is a way to use up some of your scraps. And it's simple, been done zillions of times probably, but you know, I forget about it. Like, oh, I can use my paper punches. So this particular paper punch, I got it from Temu, and you fold your paper, so you have to have enough to fill up this area. So I think this is going to be, let me hold it like this and see. I think this is not going to be wide enough. Yeah, see, I'm just going to find some that are wide enough. And there is a couple in here that are wide enough. And then I have a few of these made, but not that many. So I was like, let me see. This one's going to be wide enough. That might be the only one because, you know, I can't fold it this way because it won't be deep enough that way. Let's see. I don't think any of these are wide enough except for that one flowery one. But I don't have any like that, so it'll be nice. Here's some little pieces. Okay, so that's the only one I'm going to be able to use here with this. Alright, so, and I think that's about right. We'll make 2 folds here. This one's not, well, I guess it doesn't matter. I'll just make it big enough, because that's a crooked line, but I don't think I need to cut it. I'm just going to fold here. And then all you do with these is put it up in your, if you have this punch or a punch like it, you put your fold in first, and then it doesn't cut your fold. So it comes out like that. And then you glue it onto your page right here. And you have a little tab. And that's a pretty little cardstock floral tag now, or tab. And then I'll do another one. So you can really use up a lot of scraps using your paper punches. There's another one. Do we have enough room for another one? Probably not. So at this point I will just cut this off, this extra, and keep that little middle piece. And I might look for another paper punch now that I can use up some of these other strips. So I don't know where my other whale tail punch went, but I'll find it in a second. And, oh, I got it in my hand right here. I'm about to throw it away with my scraps. So those are pretty, aren't they? And I like to put these sometimes I'll put these with a journal. You know, I'll use them on the page, or I'll put some in a little coin envelope or something, you know, for some extra goodies. So nice to have those on hand. So now I'm going to go ahead and sew around these so we can see what these look like. All sewn around, and I'll be right back. Okay, my friends, I am back, and I've sewn around all 8 of those tags, or not tags, they are belly bands. So here's how they turned out. I think the stitching adds so much to it, and I love these colors together. They just all look really pretty. So these were from the one, all of these 4 here, and these are from the other one. And they were from, I think all these strips were from one journal. So, you know, they were from, like, these were from, I think, the same scrapbook paper pad. So they all coordinate in that way too. I really like how they turned out. So now I have about 8, 9, 10, 11, something like that, belly bands ready to go for whatever journals they fit in. I have to make sure they fit if I'm going to use them as a belly band. But, you know, I have some taller ones. I have these, which these are kind of standard size, so these should fit a lot of journals. So stay tuned to see those being used. And I grabbed some, so we made the belly bands. We made a couple of whale tail tabs, and I got a couple of other paper punches just to show you, you know, what I do. So let's see, what would be pretty here. Really, you can't think about it too much. You just got to do it. But I need to make sure this is going to fit over. I think that'll fit. Let's see. This particular paper punch is one I've had for, like, since I first started paper crafting and making junk journals. It's a little flower, but I really don't like it because you can't, like, do like this like you can with the little ones that you can hold, and you can turn it over and punch and see what you're doing. This one you kind of have to line up, say, under here, and kind of like, you see this, and you kind of I just kind of center it there. I mean, this is a smaller piece of paper. If I really wanted to be safe, I would pick a bit bigger piece of paper like this one. This is double-sided. Okay, so, and then you have to push down pretty hard. So, you know, it's just a lot slower. And you see I had to press down so hard. They make cute little flowers. And then what's really fun to do with something like this, so I mean, I like the little flower, so, you know, I'm not getting rid of that little punch or anything. But let's just say say I like this side, the blue. This is a little plaid side. I like both sides, but I kind of really like that blue side. Let's make another flower. I have another flower punch here. This little one, and here's the little slide. So with this one, it's so much easier. I don't buy any like that anymore. I just buy I love these. Anything you can just do like that, or the ones that you go like that. I like those two, the ones that you squeeze together. You know, they're two like scissors or something. Anyway, so this one, let's make a little flower here. But this can go pretty quick. You know, you can make, like, with these, you can just punch, keep on going, and then have all your flowers done, or your piece used up in no time at all. But I have different size flowers. Like, this is a little smaller than that one, and then you can layer them and have them ready to go if you want. I kind of have mine separated into little tiny bins that I have here in my craft room, but I really should go through them and just go ahead and get them ready, like something like that. So I have a little layered flower, and then you could put a little gem in the middle if you wanted to, or just leave them like that. I mean, it's really adorable just like that. So that's how I will use up some of these. See, I could just keep on going. And this little scrap will be used up. I can get it in there. And I can get one more out of there. And some people use the negatives. I mean, you can use the negatives if you want, but sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. This one I probably won't. I'm going to consider this garbage at this point. You gotta let it go at some point, right? You really do. So I have those two. I can use up some scraps, but these are a little bit wider than the strips I use for my strips I sew together. That's why I'm kind of like doing something different with them. So I've got also, you all have seen my butterflies. Let's see if it'll punch through this thicker. This is like that shelf paper. Let's see if it'll punch through there. Oh yeah, okay. And yeah, I got this little set on Amazon. Check my Amazon affiliates list down below if you want to see this. I'll try to check it too. I may have it linked. This little butterfly set. So see, cute little butterflies. And you can do the same thing with these if you want to. I think this is the biggest one. And then there's a medium. So here's the 3 bigger ones. They're not big by any means, but you know what I mean. The next size I have is a little bit smaller. Let's see. Let's do a little colorful. Let's do, it's hard to, like I said, you really should just go with it. You shouldn't try not to overthink something like this. But you could layer it like this. And then a second layer you could glue just in the middle and then pop up the wings a little bit so it's a little bit 3D. But isn't that pretty if it was just, even if it was just flat? That would be cute. Let's try a different color. Let's try a pink one here. A pink one. And then I have an even smaller one. The next size down and the last one in this little group, this little set. Let's see, we got a pink. Let's try a little red one on top of that. This piece of scrap is just, kind of awkward. It's not a straight little strip or anything. So here we go. So it could have like a layered butterfly. Or you could just set them off. If you're putting them on a page or something, you could set them off like this. Just kind of make a little decoration. Let's do one for that. Let's see, let's put a little green one on top here. This little scrap. Oh, that's a thick piece of paper. This piece of cardstock. So you get the idea. You could just, I've used up so many of my scraps just punching shapes and having them ready to go in my little drawers and bins and things. So I thought maybe one more thing we could do just so you can see how these are going to turn out and what I'm going to end up doing with them is glue some of these little pages from the Christmas book onto cardstock. So I'll add those to my butterfly bin and I'll be right back. I'm going to grab some cardstock. Okay, my friends, I am putting some thought into this, a little bit anyway, and I got out some yellow cardstock, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. So I'm thinking, okay, see how this says Santa's boots, and there's Santa's boots. This side doesn't really do anything for me, but I was thinking I would like to, if I could keep them together, I would, and then just put some yellow cardstock in here and have it as a little card that you could write in. But I really would like kind of like Santa's boots on the front. So there's no way to do that without me cutting this apart. So I thought, well, why not cut it apart then? So we're going to cut it apart. And just cut off the little fold there. And then, let's see, I think it's good the way it is. This one's a little bent just from the wear of the book, but it'll be reinforced with the cardstock now. And I think I can fit them this way. So I'll be gluing this down and this down, like this. Let's see, wait a minute. Nope, I'll be gluing. Hold on. Let me just go ahead and make this a little easier on myself. So I'm going to fold this in half. So we'll see how this fits on here. Fold this in half. And I'm going to have it open like this. So I said I want Santa's boots on the front. So I'm going to put it right here. Like glue it right on, like this is going to be the little spine of the new card. And then this will be on the back. Santa's boots will be on the back. And then we'll have writing space inside. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's see, this is thick and a little kind of slick. So I'm going to use my art glitter, not my art glitter glue, my Fabri-Tac. And so this is like a cardstock page and gluing it down onto cardstock. So this is going to be nice and sturdy. Just make sure I have all the edges glued there, and we'll put this down. Yeah, I like this idea. Okay, so you see I changed my mind several times as well, even before I cut these out, after I cut these out, trying to figure out what I want to do with these. In the store it was so simple, just cut them out and make journal cards. But now, this is still simple, but I kind of, you know, did something a little different than I originally planned, because I think it's neat to keep these together. Santa's boots with Santa's boots. This, I might need to open another. I might just need to open a new Fabri-Tac. Yeah, I think I told you guys, you know, if you watch my videos, you know how I mentioned I tried the new glue, the, what is it? I have it right here. PVA glue. I do like it, but it doesn't, for me, I'm just, you know, some people love it and that's all they use, which is fine. But for me, I still love my Fabri-Tac. I'm saying, just saying, I do. I am sticking with the Fabri-Tac. I almost thought, you know, this could actually replace Fabri-Tac. Nope. No way, Jose, not for me. There's just too many, it takes so much longer to dry that I just, and then it doesn't do things that, you know, yeah, it just, and I used it on some fabric that I didn't really like how the fabric felt after. It felt crunchy or something, and the Fabri-Tac doesn't do that. So I was like, wow. Like, I mean, I really couldn't believe it did that. I was surprised. I thought it would be the same or better, but it wasn't. So I don't know what to tell you, but that's my experience. So I didn't just pass it along. Okay, so I cut off this extra white piece here. And this one is the candy canes. I'm going to try, I want to see how it looks if I cut on the crease here rather than the fold. If it doesn't come out right, then you'll see why I cut on the fold a lot of times, but maybe it will come out right. Let me see. It's nice and smooth. Yeah, that's pretty smooth. Yeah, it doesn't have a little, well, it kind of does have a little turned up edge there, but you can barely. In this piece, I didn't get all the white off. That's why I cut, and it has a little bit of a turned up edge there. It's barely a turned up edge, but that's why I cut off the fold. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut off that little turned up edge now. So, okay, I just want to prove it to myself, actually, almost, because I'm like, maybe I should just cut in my head, in the back of my head, my brain. I'm thinking, maybe I should just cut off this, you know, cut on the seam there, or the, you know, little fold, on the fold instead of cutting off the fold. But, nope, see, now it's not, it doesn't have that turned up edge, and it's nice and flat. So, so I don't confuse myself, let's cut off this one. Put it over here where you can see, get my little trash out of the way. I'm going to cut right under the edge of this new little card we're making here. I think I cut a little bit barely on the possibly on the card, but not enough. Yeah, I don't see anything. I don't see anything. Okay, now I want to cut off this extra yellow piece here. You don't have to, like, you could center it on there, but I think it'll look better without that on there. So let's see what it looks like. I don't want to really cut on my, I mean, I could do it with scissors. I wonder if it would cut with scissors better. So I just don't want to cut off the card, you know. Here's my sharp scissors. And since it's cardstock, I'm cutting one layer at a time. And then this side. There's that crease, so that's nice and straightened out and, you know, sturdy now. So here it is. A new little card. Front and back, Santa's boots. That's pretty cute. And then you can write inside. All right, yeah. I like it. I like it. See what I mean? Simple but fun and cute. All right, so now we're doing... Now I'm liking this even more than I thought I would. Okay, which way does the candy cane goes this way? And wait, this goes together. This goes together? Oh, this has, okay, so we're gonna, there's two options on this one. Either this candy cane or this candy cane. I'm gonna go with this one because it has all the candy cane and the candy there. Okay, I kept this on the side, so hopefully it will keep flowing for me. I have one turned upside down. What is it? A tacky glue. I'm trying to use that, but I'll use that off video. That takes longer to dry too. Although I like it, it just, you know, when you get used to these fast drying glues, it's like you can't go back to slow drying glues or regular time glue drying glues. So, yeah, they spoil you. They spoil you drying so fast, but. That way we can move on, right? I like to move on and keep things going here. Have to wait around for things to dry, I mean. All right, so that is there. And then my other piece is the candy cane word. So you do have to give up one side or the other in this, the way I'm doing it, but it's okay, I don't mind, because I think these are going to be super cute and people will appreciate them in a journal, appreciate a little card that you can write in, or you can even put little pictures inside if you wanted to, make it a little, almost like a little album, or almost like a little folio. Okay, on the side, and we'll glue this one down. I'm just cutting them off one at a time because you could just keep on going, glue, glue, glue. But I don't want this one to get in my way, so that's kind of why I'm cutting off one at a time. Okay. So this helps me greatly in progressing my cleanup of my craft room and finishing some unfinished projects. And actually I have a jump on Christmas in July now. Oops, I'm going to try to cut 2 layers on this one, see if my scissors will go through here. Of course they will. Why am I such a chicken? I should have tried that last time. It went right through here. 2 layers of cardstock. Okay. These are newer scissors, but I want to make sure my card didn't move here because it is still drying. Even though it's fiber tack, it does take a couple minutes. And I didn't wait at all, did I? I just kept on going. Okay, there we go. Another cutie pie. Make sure this is right side up on the back. That wouldn't be good. Turn it over, my candy cane's upside down. There we go. Little piece of glue right there. Cute. Another cutie pie. And then we'll go ahead and do one more. Cutting off the fold this time. Not going to experiment anymore with that because now I know it's still I'm still doing that for a good reason. And this one is reindeer. So I'm going to do this little reindeer and this on the back. So we'll put it on here. Could put a little red nose on him. He doesn't even, you can't really see his nose. So you could put a little red nose on here and make him into Rudolph. A little red pom-pom would be cute, wouldn't it? Put a little red pom-pom on there. You know what I want to use in my, you know what I really want to use on something is some googly eyes. I've never crafted with googly eyes, guys. Even when I was a kid, I don't think I ever. Oh, you know what? I did make some little caterpillars one time. I think may have used googly eyes on those. At my aunt's house, she was a crafter, and I think she maybe had some googly eyes that we used. But I think that's the only time that I ever use googly eyes. I see them in the craft store. I'm like, what can I make with googly eyes? So you could put some googly eyes on the reindeer, I guess. That's what I might have to just get some, and then, you know, when I see an opportunity like this, like I just got glue on my table, so I picked it up here with my fingers real quick so it doesn't dry. But yeah, when you see an opportunity, then you'll have them on hand and you can use them. I just think that would be fun, because I never remember using them in school or anything. And one of the girls at work has a little art, arts and crafts piece from her child when he was a child. He's grown now. He just graduated from high school, and she has a little piece of artwork that he did, and it has googly eyes on it. And I was like, oh my goodness, that is so cute. And ever since then, I was like, oh man, I have to. What can I put googly eyes on? I need an excuse to buy some googly eyes. Oh my goodness, I didn't get to do it when I was a kid, so I didn't get it out of my system apparently. All right, so we got 3 cards out of one 8.5 by 11 piece of pretty yellow cardstock. I like the yellow. There's a lot of yellow in these little cards, and I think it went well. I didn't want to, even though these are kind of like Christmassy, I didn't want to go with red. And yellow will be light enough to write on. Red, you wouldn't be able to see it. The writing, if somebody does choose to write in these, you wouldn't be able to see it as well. I mean, you could write in black, but you wouldn't be, if you wanted to write in red or any pink or something, you wouldn't be able to do that on red. You'd pretty much have to use black, or hope that your blue pen, if you used blue, it would show up. So you can even do a little drawing inside, right? I am paranoid that I'm going to put the back one upside down. Okay, so there's a little bit of yellow left here. Let me cut that off. This back must be a little shorter than the front. Okay, that is okay. I'm going to leave it just like that. So we did lots today, and I have still some more to do here. I have the rest of these all to do, so these are going to be cute. Snowman, Santa's sack of toys, ornaments. These pages here, what is this one? Oh, a letter to Santa. Cute. Stockings, candle. And then we've got elves, holly, toys, angel, lights, and sleds, Santa's sleigh. So those are going to be cute. I'll put this to the side. That's something I can finish up while I'm watching TV, right? That was so easy. And here's the ones we made today. I already put away my butterflies, and we made the little flowers. I can make some more of those if I want out of my scraps. And we finished up these belly bands. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed those ideas. Simple ideas that anyone can do, and for your journals or your paper crafting, or whatever you're doing. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Have a great day.